Morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you. Glad to be back. Hope you're all doing okay and adjusting.
Yeah, so
Deputy Andy here.
for today we brought a friend in who's going to help us out. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of talk about, we've been talking about QPR, but we want to show how QPR, I think we've talked about this in the past, can be used not just for someone who is suicidal, but can be used for anybody that you're concerned about. So we're going to take those same principles after we're going to do a role play here, and then we're going to go through them again, QPR. But what we're going to show you again is how you can show concern for other people in your school, whether it's your friends, your family, or anybody else. And so right now, Tracy and Deputy Andy are going to kind of do a role play of two students, and one has kind of showed concern about someone else. So take it away, guys.
Hey. Hey, Andy, are you okay?
Well, some days I have real bad days, and today's just happens to be one of those. I've been stuck at home now for like 40 some days. I haven't been able to go to school, see my friends, and some days it really bothers me.
Well, Andy, I've watched your Snapchat stories, and I could tell that something's wrong. It's just out of character. And we've been friends for a very long time. And we talk all the time. But I really want to know, are you doing okay?
Well, another problem I have is the classwork. I gotta be on a computer a certain time, and if I stay up late playing Fortnite, and then I wake up late, and so if I don't sign on for that class, I don't get credit. I don't go into the classroom on time, so I don't get credit for it. And it gets frustrating, this trying to adjust to being on the computer at the right time, and then on top of that, the internet connection at my house sometimes is not that good. It's slow, or it freezes up. So that even adds to the frustration. Yeah, so things are bothering me.
Well, I get you. I understand. Things are changing, and nobody knows what tomorrow is going to bring. I'm right there with you. I mean, it's hard, but if you need me to, do you need me to help remind you that it's classroom time? Is something else bothering you? Because we're all going through this together.
Well, it's adjustment. 2 months ago, I was going to school every day and seeing all my friends and at times, making new friends, and now all that's shut down. I see myself, I'm not talking to as many people, either face to face or on Snapchat or Instagram or even Twitter. I'm just I sometimes I feel bad about that, and I wonder what they're doing.
Andy, it sounds like you're getting angry, and if you'd like to, have you ever thought about contacting a professional? Maybe me and you both can contact Copeline together and talk to somebody and see if there's anybody that you can talk to.
Well, I think everybody's going through this, so how could that help me?
I know we are all listening together, and I can tell you're having a really difficult time. So if you'd like, we can both try to do a speaker phone and contact Copeline and see if they have any other ideas. Maybe there's a support group that we can join on Zoom together.
Well, I might consider that, but then I'm also concerned about, what the summer's going to be like. I'm not being able to go outside now and go and play basketball with my friends like I used to always do. We used to have every Saturday every Saturday morning we had a game. Over somebody's house and we'd all play. I can't do that. And what's the summer going to hold? Are we going to have to wear face masks for the rest of our lives? What?
I hear you and I understand. And I think it'd be good if maybe me and you went and talked to somebody together.
Well,
Deal? Let's call Copeline together and see if they have any ideas or thoughts for us.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, good job, guys. So what you guys got to see is just by showing that Tracy cared, allowed Andy to open up, just talk about how he was doing. And if you notice there at the end, she was a little persistent. She didn't kind of let him off the hook. And so we talked about how it's important that it may take a couple times or being persistent. So again, QPR, guys, can be used for all different situations. So we're just going to review here QPR again and talk a little bit about what you saw here. So I want to, we may have talked about this in one of the first classes, but how you ask a question can be just as important as you're asking the question. So what you don't want to say is, what's wrong with you? Is there a problem? That kind of shows that it's a negative thing and that there's something wrong with the person and not what they're going through, okay? So again, you want to show that you care. So you can ask things, and I think Tracy did a good job of, I've kind of noticed in you lately. There's something wrong. What's going on? Do you want to talk about it? It kind of gives the person permission to have that conversation, and maybe in that moment they don't want to, okay? And we're going to talk again about how you revisit that again. I think, Tracy, you said, Andy, you don't seem to be yourself. I'm kind of noticing things on some of your social media that doesn't look like you, okay? So it's just kind of putting questions out there in a way that the person's going to be open to talk about. And persuade, how about I go with you to talk to someone? Tracy said, I'll do it with you, okay? I'll make that call with you, okay? So the person's not going to feel they're alone, because they don't have to go through this alone. And she said, would you like me to make the call with you? And then when Andy kind of was a little bit resistant, Tracy said, no, we're going to make this call, okay? A key point to remember, though, is you're never going to promise to keep a secret if someone's talking about suicide, okay? That's one thing that you're going to act on right away. And then again, the refer. It's always helpful if you can have a couple different options for the person. It gives them a feeling that they kind of still have control in maybe a situation that they don't feel like they have control in. But options that are kind of acceptable. So do you want to call the COPE line, or maybe you want to send a text to the crisis text line? Do you want to talk to one of your parents, or do you want to talk to someone at school? Okay, so it gives the person still some control. And we've talked about in the past, you want to make sure that you follow up afterwards. And when you follow up, you don't want to make it awkward for the person. You want to make them feel and know that you still care about them, and you're still going to be their friend just like you were before. And something I want to talk about too is, we've talked about QPR in 3 steps, but there might be times that you only get the first step or second one, okay, that time, and you may have to revisit. So in this case, maybe Andy being able to talk to Tracy in this case might have been enough. I don't know exactly where the conversation would have kept going, but maybe just being able to vent to someone might have been enough. And so don't feel pressure that every single time it has to end in a referral necessarily, okay? And remember, in the end, everything you guys do with each other is planting seeds of hope. And want to remind you, as we did, I think, in one of the classes, is when you can talk to someone in person, we really encourage that, because you see the person's facial expressions, you see how they're doing, and we miss that over text. And I know you probably heard from me a number of times on that, and we'll get tired of hearing about that from me, but the face-to-face interaction is going to really, really be important, okay? So in the end, again, you're showing someone you care through QPR, and you're telling someone that they're not alone, okay? So again, today was about how do you use QPR in other situations, okay? And so for next week, we're going to talk about the assignment that you guys are going to do. And the assignment you guys are going to do today is give us your kind of idea of how you would see that you could use QPR in another situation. That could be how you're dealing with a friend, someone in the family. And so how you would use QPR to show someone that you care a lot about them. All right. So we'll see you next week. You guys want to say goodbye?
Yeah, take off your power.
Bye. Good luck.
Bye, you guys. We'll
Bye.
see you next week.